Today, I want to talk to you through all of my congestion and raspiness about the concept of nice versus kind. So we live in a society where nice has really been preached to us as the way that we should all be. Women are very much taught we always have to be nice, even when guys are being jerks, have to be polite, have to be nice to everybody, be smiling all the time. Very Southern thing. I live in Oklahoma, so a lot of times niceness is very cultural. And a lot of times this has become a thing that we feel like we put above everything else. We feel like we have to be nice before anything else. And a lot of times that causes us to not stand up for our own boundaries. It causes us to sacrifice our own self-respect, to do things we're not comfortable with, to engage with people that we're not comfortable talking to. It causes us really to kind of put ourselves at risk and not defend ourselves, not stand up for ourselves, and not uphold our own boundaries in our lives. And anytime we have something that creates a pattern like that, we need to stop and ask ourselves, is this actually a good thing? Right? Everybody makes niceness seem like such a good thing, but if it's producing results like that, I would maybe offer that it's not actually the best way to be approaching things. Okay, so I want to give you a potential word to swap out for niceness. And this is really going to help a lot of people if you find yourself people pleasing a lot. This is really going to help you. And so I really want you to listen up, because this is going to be a great thing for you to apply to your life. Okay, I'm going to try to swap out the definitions and the words in your mind as we're talking, and try that out and see how it works for you. Okay, so the word that I will offer you instead of nice is kind. Okay, kindness, the difference between the two is kindness can look nice. It can be nice sometimes. Okay, it can be very nice and sweet and unloving and those kinds of things and feel good and warm and fuzzy. But kindness can also be tough love. Kindness can also be standing up for boundaries. Kindness can also be firm. It can say, hey, this doesn't feel good to me, or thank you, but no thank you, right? Kindness is what I like to refer to as the velvet hammer. I worked for somebody years ago who said this, and I was like, velvet hammer, what is that? And she explained to me that it's when people have just the most beautiful way of kind of putting you in your place. Like, it can be said really lovingly, but you can also say it firmly in a way that doesn't even make people feel like they're being corrected or told no. But it's still very, very firmly, very clearly communicating a boundary. And I love that concept of the velvet hammer. And that's really what kindness is. You can be loving and you can be kind. You can stay connected with people. You can still love them and stay connected with them and feel love for them. And also be kind in a way that is tough love and like swinging the velvet hammer. Okay. So the difference between niceness and kindness, nice is very instant gratification. It's very, in this moment, I want to feel good. I want to feel like you like me. I want you to like me. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be hurt. And I also don't want to be pushed away or abandoned. A lot of times fear of abandonment and really ultimately survival comes from this. But that's really where niceness comes from. We feel like we have to be nice so that people like us, they want to be around us, we don't end up getting rejected, or we don't make them feel that way. We want to make that person feel good in the moment, okay? Nice is very instant gratification. There's not really any kind of a long-term focus on niceness, okay? Kind is very long-term focused. Kind says, I am going to say what needs to be said. I'm going to do what needs to be done for the long-term benefit of you, of me, and of our relationship. So kindness says, I'm going to put up a boundary because, one, that's what I need to feel safe and good in this relationship and to also protect myself, but it's also for your own growth. You need to know that you're pushing on this boundary. You need to become aware of your own behavior and how you're interacting in this relationship so that you have an opportunity to grow. Kindness really gives everybody an opportunity to grow and be the best version of themselves. Okay, in a relationship with a child and parent, kindness looks like tough love. It looks like discipline sometimes. It also looks like hugs and cuddles, but it also looks like discipline and correction and chores and things like that. That kid might not always like that, and they're probably going to give you some kickback, but as a parent, you're saying, I care more about being kind and being here for your long-term development as a parent, as a person, than I do about you feeling good or happy in this moment. Okay. In a romantic relationship, it's the same thing. You're teaching that person, I care more about our relationship, about the longevity of our relationship, about the ability for us to have a strong bond over time, and about addressing the things that need to be addressed instead of just making us both feel good in the moment by just being nice. Okay. Kindness in everyday interaction. If the stranger is pushing boundaries and not making you feel safe or comfortable, again, kindness, it gives them an opportunity to learn something about themselves, to become aware of something about themselves they may not have been aware of. And you know what? Sometimes that may have been the very thing that person needed to grow. You never know when you stand up for yourself how that might actually be benefiting someone else. They may be having tons of rejection issues in their life, or people pushing them away and never know why. And that one moment of you just being honest with them could be the very thing that helps them break through in that area of their life. Okay. Obviously, in those situations, you want to be careful about feeling out whether or not that feels right or comfortable. You can kind of decide that for yourself, but there are times when you can just smile and walk away too, right? You get to decide if it feels like it's important enough to do that. But again, kindness is very long-term focused. Nice is very short-term gratification. Okay. And kindness, because of that, is very selfless. Kindness is the selfless love. Selfless love is the kind of love that is very much self-sacrificing, and it is very much tough love. Tough love hurts. Like, it hurts for the person giving it. Parents don't enjoy disciplining their kids. They want to just, if parents, if it was how we'd all wanted, it would just be like a wonderful, loving, happy relationship all the time. Your kids are never acting up and everything's happy and warm and fuzzy, but that just doesn't happen. And so kind love, the kind of love that is self-sacrificing, is very, like I said, it's selfless. It is for them more than it is for you. And that's really at the heart of it. That is true, deep love in its purest form. Okay. So when you think about, when you're in these opportunities, in the positions, in these situations in your daily life, where you are faced with, do I be nice or do I be kind? For those of you that have a tendency to be very people-pleasing and would default to niceness, I really encourage you to really think about this. Sit down and think about it and ask yourself, do I care more about the short-term happiness of myself and others, or do I care more about our long-term happiness? And then ask yourself what matters more. And then if you care more about the long-term happiness, I want you to consider swapping out kind for nice and see how that serves you in your daily life. I hope this helped you. Leave some comments. I'd love to hear. And again, if you guys ever want to hear me talk about anything in particular, leave it in the comments or send me a message and I would love to address it for you.